Good evening and welcome now to the Libla Family Sports Complex. I'm Frankie Castile here on today's talk, KWOC. We are live on Facebook and our YouTube channel at River Radio PB. That's youtube.com/River Radio PB. And now we're going to bring in Coach Alex Wiggs as we begin the watch party. And, of course, selection show is going to begin coming up in about 24 minutes from right now. And head coach Alex Wiggs, welcome in and thank you again for allowing us to be here and to witness this with you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming out.
Absolutely. So a lot of fans already making their way to watch this. The team is here, and we're going to have a great time.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, it's one of those deals where the weather, unfortunately, probably prevented some to come out, but we're excited to be doing this on Facebook Live and getting some fans.
Absolutely. So talk about last night for just a minute. I know when I was watching you in that first quarter, you were not as calm as you are right now. So walk us through last night and just how special last night really was, not only to you, but to Coach Webb and to your team behind you.
Yeah, you know, last night you talk about starting out. I thought we were really loose. I thought the team was ready to go. And then, you know, we missed a couple of shots that we make early on. Then we got a little tight. And then got in some foul trouble. But excited for the whole group and how they responded to that and how they just kept pushing and battling. And, you know, like I told him at the end of the first quarter, I said, good thing is we got 3 more quarters to go. You know, it's one of those things that you don't just win the game in the first 10 minutes. So you got to play the full 40.
First quarter, a few minutes into the ball game, Maya Yelder gets called for her second offensive foul. You take her out for the rest of the half. Your team responds like no other. Walk us through the decision to take her out and not put her back in until third quarter.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those deals where I don't know if she's been called for 2 offensive fouls in a game, much less in a quarter, you know. But definitely it makes it a lot easier decision whenever you have kids coming off the bench who you 100% trust, who goes out there and they can step in and they can fulfill that role. And I thought Jenna McMillan and Carly Holland, Carly Holland started, but Jenna McMillan and Mariah Smith did a great job of that alongside Autumn Dodd, you know, and Carly Holland starting and continuing to play well.
You know, last night, talk about the fan aspect of it. A lot of folks already watching us on YouTube and Facebook, so please drop your comments in and show your congratulations to the team and to Coach Alex Wiggs on a huge win last night. What was it like having over 2,000 fans? I would dare say maybe the biggest crowd in this facility last night. Would you agree?
Yeah, you know, it was awesome. It was awesome. You know, anytime and I told him before the game, I said, you guys get a chance to play this game, this big of a game, in front of 2,000 of your best friends tonight, because everybody in this gym is going to be cheering for you. They're all going to be yelling at the officials, you know, and praising you. So it was awesome to see the community come out and support these kids.
Selection show coming up in right about 23 minutes from right now. Are you anxious on what number you're thinking you might get called? I mean, honestly, you should be the number 1 seed, but I know in years past that's not been the case. You guys have kind of been disrespected, some might say. So what are your thoughts coming up on the overall selection process?
Yeah, you know, I think we've been number 1 for 6 weeks, and then continuing that through the region tournament as far as, you know, winning the first round and obviously winning the championship last night. I don't know because there's some good teams out there. I mean, you got Shelton State, you've got, you know, South Georgia Tech. You got a lot of those schools out there who have done really, really well. And so we're definitely excited and looking forward to it. But then again, we got to be ready for whatever may come our way.
You know what's really cool is as you're talking, I'm seeing some former players also come down because they respect this process and they want to be here as well. What will it mean to not only yourself but even your team? But we'll get them in here in just a few minutes. If you guys are called the overall number 1 seed, what would that mean to you and to your team?
You know, like you mentioned, kind of as far as the respect thing goes, you know, a few years ago, I think we won 24 games in a row and then ended up the 24th seed. And then last year we were ranked number 8 8 in the nation, and then got the number 9 seed at the national tournament. So I think it just shows that this group and these girls and those former players that you were talking about, like, they've helped put Three Rivers on a map, and not only have gained the respect of, the community, but also people throughout the country.
You look different today. Have you lost more hair since last Tuesday when you were in the studio?
I guarantee you I have. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that probably 3/4 of that was from the first quarter last night. So, yeah, definitely a little less hair up there. It's a lot less to cut now.
So at the end of the game, you guys were up by 8 points, and talk about the win. What was it like when you guys finished off the Region 16 tournament, still undefeated, knowing that you guys should be the number 1 seed going in? What was it like after it was all said and done?
Yeah, I think just the accomplishment of in the satisfaction of, okay, our hard work has paid off. Our preparation, everything that we've done, we've accomplished, every goal that we've kind of set forward up to this point. And, kind of can we continue this, and that's their plan. That is the plan, and that we're going to continue this and get ready to go for the national tournament.
You've got fans on Facebook already saying the same thing. They're saying congratulations. So, I love having you on, but I'm going to get you back on after selection show is over. So let's bring over some of the real heroes of this team and the stars. What do you say? Who's the first victim here tonight,
good.
Coach?
Well,
I'll let you pick them.
I don't know.
They're all eager to come over here,
they're all
especially
on
Autumn Dodd.
And they're all eager to do this. We'll see who's shaking their head no, who's avoiding eye contact to come over here. I think Ari Winston looks like she's ready to go on the radio. She is.
Is she being voluntold or volunteered?
She is definitely being voluntold.
Gotcha.
To come over here. She's going to be on the radio on Tuesday.
She is.
So I think this would be a great time for her to practice her radio skills to get prepared for Tuesday. For her so that's not her debut anymore. This is her debut.
So let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Let's bring in Ari.
Let's bring in Ari.
You betcha. We'll bring in Miss Ari Winston here coming in just a moment. We'll let her get all mic'd up here. Remember to share this video feed for us and keep those comments coming in. They'll go back and they'll look at all this when this is all said and done. All right, Ari Winston, welcome in for the first time, and let's talk about Region 16 champs. What's it feel like so far?
It feels good.
Let's talk about the basketball season in general. How special has this basketball season been to you personally?
It's been very special for me to be like a freshman starting and everything. The team is great, coach is great, everything, support.
So Friday night and Saturday night, Region 16 tournament. I know on Friday you guys won by 50. Walk us through last night. How incredible was the atmosphere from the crowd, and then how nerve-wracking was it in that first quarter going down by double digits? You guys seemed like that you guys were calm as can be, fighting your way back in the ball game, and then winning it by 8 in the end.
I say about our crowd, they're a good support team for us. Like, it really helped us to get more energy back. First quarter we was down, but we got to push through. We pushed through, and boom.
And then, of course, talk about when it was all said and done, you guys were cutting down the nets. Did it sink in at that point in time that you guys were 28-0, and here we are waiting to hear your all's name called, going somewhere as far as the overall seeding? Where do you believe Three Rivers should be when we begin this selection process coming up in less than 30 minutes?
I really believe we really still number 1 in the nation. We put so much hard work in, sacrifices and everything. So I really feel like number 1 seed.
So when you guys are going to leave here tonight and go to practice, what are some things that you still want to work on before you guys make that trip 12 hours away?
We do have a lot of stuff to work on, but most of it's like little stuff. We really just got to keep playing hard, communicating, doing all the stuff. We don't have to do nothing special to win.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to come on here and talk with us and look in that camera. And for those that are watching right now, tell the fans how much you appreciate their support day in and day out. And you guys want them to follow you guys all the way to Lubbock, Texas.
I love the support, all the fans, family, friends, all y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all.
So I'll let you pick. Who else do we want to get on here? Who's the next victim, Ari? You tell me. I'll let you pick.
Um,
Pressure's on you now.
Carly.
Carly, let's bring over Miss Carly Holland. Let's get her on the air, and we'll talk to her coming up, as Carly had a big night last night. We'll get her on, and we'll let her walk over here. She's been in the studio before, so, of course, she kind of knows the routine just a little bit. We added Tim in with the whole camera, so to speak. So, first off, Carly, congratulations, Region 16 champs. Walk us through last night. You hit some pretty big shots when the team needed it the most.
I have no idea what you said. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I said that last night you had a really big ball game. You hit some big shots when the team needed it the most. Walk us through the atmosphere last night. It seemed like on the wing you were able to get open and knock down the shots. How was that so easy for you last night, now that it's all said and done?
Well, our offense, we have a lot of dribble drives, and when someone drives, we usually just find the open shooter, and I was there.
So talk about the crowd in itself last night. Coach Wiggs and I were talking about this. I think last night could have been possibly the biggest crowd we've ever had at this facility, and they were all wearing the black and gold and showing you guys how much they appreciate you guys. You guys fed off of that energy. How easy was it for you guys to come in knowing you had the hometown support all the way around?
It was really easy coming in. Like, there was a lot of energy in the gym, and we could feel it, and then we had high energy, and then the whole crowd was just with us. So
in the first quarter, you guys were down by nearly double digits, and then the leading scorer gets in foul trouble early. You guys respond. Coach Wiggs calls a timeout. What was said in that timeout? And give us the PG version.
Well, I don't really remember what was in the timeout.
But so last night, when it was all said and done, you guys went into halftime. How big was it going up by 2 points at halftime?
It was pretty big. Going in up at halftime was a really big thing for us.
And then the final quarter came, and you guys were up by double digits. They would climb back in just a little bit. Your defense would step up and, of course, would close the deal. So when it was all said and done, when you walked up that ladder to cut down the nets, is that when it sank in that you guys were Region 16 champs and now just awaiting to see what seed you guys are going to be in the national tournament?
Oh, yeah, it felt great to cut down on that.
So talk about assistant coach Miss Webb. How crucial is she getting you girls fired up every ball game?
She gets us fired up pretty much every ball game, and it really helps.
So what would you say to the fans watching right now? Everybody's chiming in, telling you guys best of luck, and they're rooting behind you. Talk to your fans who are watching you right now. What's it mean to you that you're getting all of this support? And not just tonight. You guys have had it pretty much all season.
It means a lot. I appreciate everyone that supports us, and it really does help a lot.
Well, do me a favor. Let's get Coach Webb over here. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get her over here. Coach Webb, get over here. She's over here looking like maybe I don't want to do this, but she's done this before. Coach Marissa Webb, her second year as the assistant coach. We'll let her get in here. And remember to keep those comments coming in. Share this video, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, and they'll go back and rewatch this when we're done here for sure. Coach Webb, all right, first day on the job. I told you that earlier. So what's it like? Region 16 champs 2 years in a row. And the last 2 years, you guys have made it very interesting for sure.
I mean,
we'll bring that mic up just a little bit there. There you go.
It's been awesome. These girls work so hard, and, I mean, just seeing their progress and them buying into just every single thing that we talk about every single day. We got our 4 non-negotiables every day, and they know that those are the things that we're going to talk about every day.
What I want to know is I want to know about this pregame rituals. I've been saying this now for the last 4 weeks in the studio on Tuesdays. I want to know what you do to get these girls fired up, because I saw you yesterday on the sidelines, and there were times that I was like, oh, my, we got to get this on the air.
Oh, my goodness. Well, normally we got our good playlist going, and even if it's a little dated, but for me, I love it.
What consists on this playlist? You got to tell us. Give us some insight there.
We probably have a few. The girls know I love some Rihanna, so we'll have some Rihanna songs playing. We'll have are they back there saying something?
No.
Oh, okay. We'll have some Rihanna. We'll have, let's see, Work Hard, Play Hard. We got quite a few songs on there. And then Black and Yellow, of course.
Nice. The figures.
One of the songs, I mean, Black and Yellow, my team ran out to this. So every time I'm like, oh, that's go time. That's our song. Normally just trying to get them going. Normally they're like, show me some footwork, coach. Come on, let me see this and that. And we're doing it. But I told them that's for the home game exclusives. I would know, like, I know you're going to probably say, come on, show us right now.
Oh, we're going to get to that before it's all said and done, no doubt about it. So let me ask you, hometown girl, you played here in Poplar Bluff. What's it like? Walk us through last night, seeing, I think, the biggest crowd we've ever had here. It's got to be a big motivator for you guys.
Yeah, the crowd, but, like, I love the fact that they get to experience what I got to grow up in. When Poplar Bluff gets behind you, we always talk about, you bleed black and gold. Before it was maroon because I was high school here.
That's right.
But whenever that community comes behind you, we know that they got your back. And then that's what I told one of the girls that came out, I think it was Dodd, and I was like, do you feel the energy in here? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I don't care if your next shot's an air ball or whatever it is, you shoot that thing because that energy's flowing. You let that crowd push you on.
By the way, just to let you know, Stephanie Webb, she is blowing you up right now with everything. She's loving that you're behind this camera. So I think on Tuesday when you come in the studio, I may let you host, and I'll let you interview me for a change.
All right, you better get ready now.
I'm just saying, I'm ready for the hard-hitting questions. By the way, Ron Withrow, who is a big supporter of Lady Ray, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay, so he's already asking the hard-hitting questions. You ready for this?
Uh-oh.
He wants to know, how will you guys deal with the size you will see in Lubbock, Texas? Pretty good question.
Hey, I think we're ready for any size. The way our girls play, how hard we play, I know that we make adjustments. We're going to battle it out. I think quite a few fans talked to me after the game yesterday and said, I did not realize how strong your girls are. Like, you look at them and you're like, oh, man, they're in shape and stuff, but it's not until you see those hits. You see those things that, like, they take. I think Ari Winston got hit by 34 India Green last night, and she just had her hands up and just took a gut shot, and I was like, oh, my God, she didn't even move. So I'm like, that is just the work they put in, but because they're so solid, they work so hard that people always underestimate us.
Last year you guys went all the way to the Final Four.
Yes.
And I know the disappointment after last year's Final Four. What was the determination this year? Did that drive this team to even go above what they did last year? Was that the drive?
Yes. We talk about, so we lost 8 points at the Final Four game, and we're like, all right, you guys, have we put in enough work to be 8 points better? If we're 8 points better, we beat that team, right? That was a great team. We knew if we played them 10 times, they would win 5, we would win 5. It was such a great matchup. But, yeah, we kept that in the back of our head. I'm like, hey, remember this feeling. Remember that feeling in that locker room. We have a lot of veterans that came back. So them remembering how it felt, being like, man, we didn't pull it off, but we got so close, and so it drove us every single day.
I asked Coach Wiggs this: when you look out and you see the current team, you see former players who made the trip down here to kind of watch this together, what does that say to you?
It says that we're doing something right. I know that even my friends from back, Coach Walk's still coming to games. He's up here now. They come and they're like, we can't wait to get down there to see the girls play. And, like, they're touching the plaque because they're like, we feel like we built some of this. And I'm like, you did. And so just having that family, like, when you're a part of Raider Nation, this is the family.
Last night when you guys were down in the first quarter, and what I like about this team, I don't think I've ever seen this, and I've done basketball for almost 13 years now, but it seems like with this team, you guys never get down on yourselves. If stuff isn't going right, you guys adjust. But from anybody watching it, it's like, do they ever feel the pressure?
Well, I want to say, yeah, we feel the pressure because we're human. But we talk so much about controlling the controllables and controlling our energy, whether it's good or bad. We want to control that. And so if our focus, we try to talk about before the game, lose yourself in the game. And how do you do that? You do that by cheering on your teammates. Get lost in that emotion and that excitement, knowing how hard you guys have worked, knowing that you are ready no matter what they come out with. Like, you're going to get hit. It's going to be a game of runs, but the ups and the downs are going to come. It's just about who doesn't stay at the lowest the longest.
8 minutes away from the selection show beginning. So walk us through real quick. Last question. Walk us through your nerves a little bit.
Okay.
What will it be like whether, I said this last night, tonight, or today. I think Three Rivers obviously is the number one team for a reason. If you guys get that number one spot, and we're going to watch it live together coming up, what would that mean to you?
It would mean the world. It would be a great start for the national tournament. But, I mean, it's kind of like when we got ranked number 1. It was a great accomplishment, but then it wasn't enough. You know, we were still going on for the next thing, and our goal hasn't changed since the start of the season. We got, being ranked number 1. If we get this ranking number 1 as well, that's just part of that process. And our girls are so focused on the goal that this is what happens when you're stayed focused on that goal.
What I like about what I'm fixing to say next is I want you to do me a favor, because we all know you're not real bashful. I want you to look in that camera, and for folks like Stephanie and everybody else who's loving watching you right now, what do you want to say to the fans of this team who has supported you not just tonight and not just last night, but all season, even last season, even those long-timers that support you guys year in and year out? What's your message?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Each one of you guys matter. Each one of your views, every time you guys like a post, share a post, every time you guys show up to a game, you guys are sacrificing something, and we see that, and you're part of the success as well. So thank you guys.
Now, are you going to give us any kind of break dancing or anything before we go to a player? What do you think?
I mean, I can give you a little shoulder action.
There you go.
I don't know. That's all we got.
Hey, that's good enough for me. So, all right, Coach Webb, thank you so much. I look forward to having you back on Tuesday. We'll try to get you back on before we wrap it up here later on. And I'll let you pick the next candidate here. We've got about 5 or 6 minutes before the show begins. So you tell me who we're going to interview next.
I think we're going to get Miss Abby Turner.
Let's
Poplar
get Abby
Bluff
Turner. All right, we'll bring over Abby Turner over here. We'll get her next. Of course, she's a Poplar Bluff native as well. We'll get her on, and then we're going to watch the selection show begin. And then after that, we'll get some more players and reactions coming up. So, Miss Abby, glad to have you alongside. And we know how much this team means to you, so I'll cut right to the chase. Last night, I was so impressed with what you were doing on the bench, pumping up your teammates. And you know, in certain situations, that might be a role somebody takes on, and you never ask questions. You just do it, and it seemed like it's effective to everybody else as well.
Right. I just love these girls so much, and I know what they're capable of. So, I mean, it's really easy to pick them up because we feed off that energy, and so I just knew, like, that's the role that I needed to take on last night because we did need that energy because, I mean, Moberly did come out hot, and so I knew that we did need that energy because you could kind of see it. We were looking for that next thing, and I just tried to bring it as best as possible. You
know, and for all your accolades here for this team, I mean, you've worked so hard, and you guys practice day in and day out. How many shots of extra shots would you say you have taken so far this season in practice? And we're counting the ones that went in.
Oh, my.
I'm not sure. Is anybody keeping count anymore?
I don't know if they are. It's on the paper in our locker room, but a lot. We all put in a lot of shots. So
you know, and talk about. And it's a common question to everybody I speak to now because I look at the comments and we're seeing them come in. A lot of folks tuning in on Facebook and YouTube for this moment. As we watch the selection show beginning in about 4 or so minutes, are you hoping for that number 1 seed, or is this team in a position where you know what, we're going to get what we get and we'll go to work starting tomorrow?
I mean, absolutely, we're hoping for that number 1 seed, but if we get what we get, I know we're going to go to battle no matter what. So we all are hoping for the number 1 seed, but absolutely, if we get what we get, then.
So we're 28 games in, 28-0. What are some things that you want to see yourself improve on and you want to see the team achieve over the next couple of weeks? Besides the national tournament championship.
I just want to see us come even closer. Like, we're already close as it is, but I think getting even closer through the next 2 weeks will be absolutely amazing because this is a big ride, and I'm just really excited. So,
you know, I feel like the last couple of days, and it's been that way pretty much all season, but I think the last couple of days we have seen the fans really step up, and they've showed out for you guys. They've come in full force. And you've played for Poplar Bluff. You kind of know the fan base a little bit. So what was that like the last 2 nights, seeing the energy in this gym? And it was by far top-notch. I would say so.
Yes. No, it was absolutely amazing because going from Poplar Bluff to Three Rivers, the fan base has increased significantly. And the fan base around here just loves you as like you're one of their own, and they're just so amazing.
I was going to say that the fan base around here is just amazing. You're absolutely right. So I know we're about to begin the selection process in about 2 minutes. So my final question to you is look in that camera and talk to your fans and maybe your parents. And how cool is it that you guys are about to witness a big seed coming up in about 2 minutes?
It's absolutely just so cool. I want to thank everyone for all the support that y'all have given us, the outpouring love, and just I hope y'all continue to follow us through the Nationals.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Abby. Congratulations, and we're looking forward to this show to begin here momentarily.
Thank you.
You betcha. Abby Turner joining us live here, a Poplar Bluff local as well. So with that being said, we're not going anywhere. What we're going to do is we're going to have Tim actually pan the camera around, maybe not. You okay, Alex? Everything good? All right. Head coach Alex Wiggs making sure that he's good to go. But we're going to be watching the feed, and we're going to get the reaction. Don't go anywhere. Don't jump off. Make sure and share this video. We're going to be watching the NJCAA selection show, and we're going to bring it to you live right here on Facebook and on YouTube. And we're all going to see the seed that the Lady Raiders are going to get. Hopefully, it is that number 1 seed. We're going to find out coming up in just a moment. Make sure share this video feed for us on Facebook and on YouTube, and keep those comments coming. The girls will love it, I promise you. They really are enjoying being able to be center stage for a change. They have worked their butts off, and we're so happy that we're able to bring it to you because this team truly deserves it. Here is the NJCAA selection, and hopefully our Lady Raiders will be going number 1. Let's find out together right here on Facebook and on YouTube.
Hi, everybody, and welcome inside our luxurious NJCAA studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm your host, Sam Hyman, as we get ready for the NJCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Selection Show. All games to be played in Lubbock, Texas. This is going to be a very exciting field. We've seen a lot of different champions over the last several years, 5 to be exact, over the last 9 seasons. So it should be very exciting stuff in Lubbock, Texas. Let's take a look at how this will play out as the bracket is blank right now, but the top 8 teams will get a first-round bye. We'll get to those top 8 teams in just a moment. There are 16 district champions who know that they're in the dance. They know that they have a chance to compete for a national championship, but there are 8 at-large selections, and some of those teams are going to be on the edge of their seat as they await their fate here today for this championship bracket. So let's begin unpacking the bracket, shall we? The number 1 overall seed, undefeated 3 Rivers, 8-0, the Raiders from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. They are looking to win the championship as an undefeated team for the first time since 2012. We haven't seen an undefeated champion since Trinity Valley at 36-0 in 2012, led by head coach Alex Wiggs. This is a very dangerous team. The number 2 overall seed from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Shelton State, the Buccaneers, the nation's best scoring defense, holding opponents to below 46 points per game. They absolutely dominated their district championship in 3 games, winning by an average of 45 points in those 3 games. Shelton State, the number 2 overall seed. The number 3 overall seed, the Lady Chargers from Georgia Highlands. 5 players in double figures this season for Georgia Highlands, led by Jashanti Simmons, who's averaging just a touch under 17 points per game. And this team is rolling. Red hot winners of 27 consecutive games. It's the Chargers, the Lady Chargers from Georgia Highlands, as the number 3 overall seed. The number 4 overall seed, Northwest Florida State, the Raiders punching their ticket. The defending national champion, Northwest Florida State Raiders, led by head coach Bart Walker. who took the squad to the championship and won it for the first time ever. Northwest Florida State, 27-2 overall, and they are the number 4 overall seed. The number 5 overall seed, the Midwest District champions, Wabash Valley Warriors. They've won 99 straight conference games. They're on a 27-game winning streak. This team is on a roll. They're the nation's highest scoring offense, as you see on your screen, and they've only lost once. The Midwest District champions, Wabash Valley Warriors from Mount Carmel, Illinois. The number 6 seed is Southern Idaho. The Golden Eagles, nearly an unblemished conference record, 17-1 under head coach Randy Rogers. A perfect record at home and their 12th appearance in the NJCAA championship. 6 seed, Southern Idaho. The 7 seed, the Buccaneers from Blaine College from Brenham, Texas, just 1 hour west of Houston, led by head coach Jeff Jenkins in his 20th season. This is Blaine's first tournament appearance since 2016. And the last team to get a first round bye, the 8th seed, West District champs from Arizona Western, the Matadors. Watch out for Alliance Ndiba, 11.9 rebounds per game, 3 blocks a game. That's 7th nationally for Ndiba. The Matadors from Arizona Western at 29-2 overall, making it for the first time since 2002. They are the number 8 seed. So those are the top 8 teams in the bracket on the women's side. As we take a look at the bracket right now, big picture, all of the teams in the top 8 are district champions. So that means still some teams on the edge of their seat as far as the at-large selections go. The top 8 teams we've unpacked here in the NJCAA Women's Basketball Championship. And now let's join the number 1 overall seed head coach. It's Alex Wiggs from 3 Rivers, undefeated, 28-0, entering the NJCAA Championship. Coach, what a season. Tell me, what's been the biggest area that you've been impressed with throughout the course of this season with your team?
You know, it's definitely a great accomplishment and very proud of this group. I think the biggest thing is that it is our depth, is that we've had multiple girls step up and just perform throughout the year. And I think that's been the most impressive thing throughout the year.
Alex, this is your 2nd season as head coach of the program, 6th overall, and the school is seeking their first national championship within this program. So when did you realize that this team this season, was there a point in time where you realized that this squad has what it takes?
Yeah, you know, we have 10 girls back from a team that made a Final Four run last year. So with those 10 kids back and with the return, or with the newcomers that we had, it was pretty early on where we thought that we may have a chance to do something special this year.
I want to touch on some of your players. Mia Yelder and Autumn Dodd, they are taking the ball away from the opposition, averaging over 3 steals per game between the two of them. What makes those two so special on the defensive end of the floor?
You know, they get a lot of ball pressure. They are very good at keeping the ball in front of them. They have active hands and just do a great job of anticipating and forcing the other teams players to make mistakes.
When you were told that you were going to be the head coach of this program, I mentioned this is your 2nd season. What was going through your mind as far as the way you wanted to construct the squad down the road?
Yeah, you know, like you mentioned, been here 6 years and 2nd year as the head coach, but so kind of have that vision moving forward, and it's definitely want to continue to get very good kids, not only on the court but in the classroom, and then kids that just knew how to win, kids that wanted to come in and compete day in, day out, and that would show up and like I said, kind of put in the extra work to be successful.
And we were talking a little bit a moment ago just about how you have been aware of this program for several years. You grew up just around an hour outside of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. So what's it like to have this job and to not only have it, but to have a team that's undefeated with an opportunity to become the first undefeated team to win a NJCAA national championship since 2012?
Yeah, you know, it's an hour and a half away from my hometown. It's a phenomenal school, phenomenal program. Have always heard about it, and then got the amazing opportunity to come down. And it's just amazing the support. I mean, being this close to home, it's amazing how many fans and just how many people love this program.
What was your message? What did you tell your team after you all took care of business in the Central District when you won the championship? What was your message to the squad?
You know, we need to enjoy the moment. That's one thing that we've got to do. We've got to make sure we enjoy the moment, but also it's got to make sure that we know that we're not done yet. You know, we've got to make sure that we come in to work tomorrow and get ready to compete and get ready to prepare for the national tournament.
All right, that is the head coach of Three Rivers in Missouri, Alex Wiggs. Thanks so much for taking some time, Coach. Congratulations on earning and locking up the #1 overall seed. You'll get a first-round bye, and best of luck in the tournament in Lubbock.
Thank you.
Still to come on the NJCAA Division I Women's Basketball Selection Show, we unveil seeds 9 through 24, some anxiously awaiting whether they're in or out. That's next.
So there you've heard it. The Lady Raiders are the #1 seed, and we're going to get to a lot more coming up in just a moment here with the NJCAA Selection Show seeds 9 through 24. And then we're going to have more players come on. We'll get their reaction as they are now the #1 seed in this tournament in Lubbock, Texas. So proud of the Lady Raiders, and keep those comments coming in. They'll go back and they'll watch all this when it's all said and done, and we're going to get back to the NJCAA Selection Show seeds 9 through 20. The rest of the seeds are coming up here in just a moment, 9 through 24. You'll be able to get all that. And then we'll go over the matchups, and we'll get Coach Wiggs back on as well. We'll talk to the Region 16 Player of the Year coming up, Maya Yelder. That's also coming up here in just a few moments. Now back to the Selection Show.
NJCAA Studios, I'm your host, Sam Hyman. Let's keep this train moving, shall we? We've already got the top 8 teams thrown at you. We've got more to tell you about. But first, let's remind you, if you're just joining us, the top 8 teams in this tournament, all games to be played in Lubbock, Texas. Three Rivers, the #1 overall seed, fresh off a Final Four appearance a season ago. They're looking for their first ever national championship this season. Those are all district champions, the top 8 seeds. So we still got a lot left. And let's dive into the top left portion of the bracket, beginning with a 16 seed and at-large selection, Chipola, the Indians. One of their signature wins this season came against the 4 seed in this tournament, Northwest Florida State, the defending national champions. This could potentially be an upset team. Chipola 23-8 overall. They will take on another at-large selection, 17 seed Tyler, the Apaches. 3rd team from a loaded Mid-South district headed to the dance. Tyler, 23-8 overall. The #9 seed, yet again another at-large selection, the Jets from South Georgia Tech. 2nd team All-American last year, Mo Sheeta, no longer with the squad, but it doesn't phase South Georgia Tech. They're back in the dance, making their 6th straight appearance, and one of the best rebounding teams in the country. They will face off against the 24-seeded Monroe College Mustangs from New York, Northeast District champs. Due to participation numbers in that district, they're 14-14 overall, led by Olivia Medford, the team's leading scorer. Moving on to the #13 seed, South Plains from Texas, the Lady Texans, the 13 overall seed in this tournament. 3rd straight appearance to the dance and a balanced scoring attack. 4 players averaging 10 points or more. And they will take on the 20-seeded North Dakota SCS Wildcats. They've won 11 straight games, led by Yvonne Tensei, 20.9 points per game, and she leads the nation in threes per contest. More than 3 threes made for Ivane. The head coach is Adam Jacobson. All right, moving on to the number 12 seed, Western Nebraska, the Cougars. Their top scorer is Elijah Douglas, 18.1 points per game. This is a team that can flat out score the rock, second in the nation in points per contest, and they love to facilitate as well. A very solid offense. Who will they face? 21-seeded Murray State from Oklahoma, the Aggies. They've won 10 straight games, 4th tournament appearance all time. Look out for Elena Wilson, the team's leader in points and rebounds. 21-seeded Murray State. Switching other side of the bracket now, an at-large selection, Moberly area, the Greyhounds, the 15 seed coming out of the Central District as an at-large team. 26-5 overall, 16th tournament appearance, and they will take on the 18th seed Eastern Florida State. The Titans very excited to be in the dance as an at-large selection. MJ Baker, the head coach, took over the program in 2017 and has them rolling. Poised to shock some folks here in the tournament, as you can see. An unblemished conference record of 12-0. Down to another at-large selection, 10-seeded New Mexico Junior College, the Thunderbirds, led by first-year head coach Austin Mefford, the 10-seed, 13-0 at home. And this is a team that can flat out stop you on the defensive end of the floor. 51.2 points per game on that average, and that is 6th in the country. And they will take on 23-seeded Jones, last year's number 1 overall seed. Jones from Mississippi, the Bobcats from Ellisville, Mississippi, and they are led by Johnson. 16.8 points per game. She's very, very impressive. Going to the number 14 seed, Casper, the Thunderbirds from Casper, Wyoming, their 3rd straight appearance in the NJCAA tournament, rolled through the district tournament, winning by an average of 21 points in 3 games. They are the Northwest Plains district champions, Casper College, the Thunderbirds. They'll take on 19-seeded Hutchinson, the Blue Dragons. Love to get to the free throw line. This team is averaging more than 16 free throws made per game. That's good for 2nd in the nation. Hutchinson will face off against Casper, and the winner of that game plays Georgia Highlands. Moving to our final 2 teams, 11-seeded Trinity Valley, the Cardinals from Athens, Texas. They won NJCAA championships 3 years in a row from 2012 to 2014. The last team undefeated to win the national championship in 2012. They were the runner-ups a season ago. And they will take on the last team that we will unpack, Walters State, the Senators from Morristown, Tennessee, their 18th appearance all-time in the tournament, led by Kiera Hill, who was named Region 7 tournament MVP with her 13 double-doubles throughout the course of the season. Walters State rounding out the field of 24, as our bracket is now complete. 3 Rivers at the top at 28-0. It's going to be very exciting. Games to be played in Lubbock, Texas, starting March 16th and rolling through to the championship game, which will be on the 21st of March. All right, coming up next, we'll sit down with the committee chair of the Division I Women's Basketball Championship. That is Darren Pannier. Next.
All right, so the Lady Raiders are the number 1 seed coming up in the NJCAA National Tournament. Let's get in real quick. Head coach Alex Wiggs. And, Coach, congratulations, number 1 seed. Talk about this. Did you feel like going in that you guys were going to be the number 1 seed all along?
You know, it's one of those deals that you hate to say yes, but I thought we deserved it. You know, like I thought the girls put in the work, and I thought that the body of work that we've had throughout the year. We played the Wabash Valleys, we played the Vincents, we played the Moberlys, we played teams that are talented. And I felt like our body of work was right up there with the best teams, the quote-unquote best teams in the nation. So, yes, I thought that we met every challenge and that it's something that these girls deserved.
Now, do you need to be part of the rest of this committee here? Or
I just may take 1 ear off,
okay.
but you're fine.
So I do want to ask, whenever they announced that your team was the number 1 seed, I mean, it looked like from where I was sitting, they were really surprised, and they were very happy. Walk us through what that meant.
Yeah, the hardest thing is that, I did that interview about 12 o'clock today, so around noon.
Oh, so you knew before this.
So
gotcha. Okay.
So I had to do that a little bit early. So yeah, the hardest thing was they had to keep it secret, and they were excited. And I am going to listen to this right here because
sure.
Darren Pannier is at State Fair.
Sure, absolutely. So we'll let him get to that coming up here in just a moment. We'll come right back with the head coach in just a sec.
Sam, great question. Yes, I was fortunate enough to see him 3 times throughout the year, and they are coming into the tournament undefeated, and we know what's going to start a week from Monday is a national tournament, and it's called March Madness. The reason it's called March Madness, anything can happen when that ball gets thrown up in the air at the beginning of each game. In past years, the number 1s or number 2s who came in undefeated, well, unfortunately, didn't make it to the championship game. Anything goes. This year is a little different than past years. As you probably know, we had some COVID relief as in the waivers, and some people came back and participated. This year is going to be a very interesting tournament due to the fact that some individuals could have left, but they stayed for their so-called third year or second year participating instead of going on to the NCAA team. So I think the tournament, even though Three Rivers is undefeated, it's going to be a brutal tournament. It's going to be fun. It's going to be I think there's going to be a lot more upsets this year than it has been in the past.
That's great to hear. Very exciting stuff. And Three Rivers trying to become the first undefeated champion since 2012. Moving on, Darren, let's talk about some of the bubble teams, some of the at-large selections.
So, as we just heard, I mean, do you agree with that? Do you think that there's going to be a lot more upsets here this year compared to recent years?
I hope not. It's to come tournament time. It's our tournament. It's NJC or NCAA tournament. It is all those tournaments. High school tournament. It does not matter. It's a one game. It's one game. It's not necessarily the best team, but it's the best team that day, that night, at that moment, who wins and who moves on. And so it's one of those that it gets me excited because these 16 girls behind me, I think for 2 hours, for 40 minutes, they can show up and they can be the best team. And that's one of those things. That's the challenge because guess what? There's 23 other teams that's going to come in and going to think the same thing. And so there could possibly be some upsets, but there could also be one. I do think there's one thing that's going to happen. I think it's going to be really, really good tournament. I think it is going to be really good ball games, and there's going to be some big time plays made because like he mentioned, like there's some third year kids. There's some third year kids on. I mean, we've got 5 of them.
Right.
And so I think you're going to see plays at this NJCAA tournament that you may not have necessarily seen in years past, just because of that experience, just because of that knowledge of being a year older, and so I'm excited.
What I didn't mention earlier on, because this is all about the girls for sure, but for those that are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, I didn't mention earlier that last night you were awarded for the second time in your career the Region 16 Coach of the Year. How cool was that feeling?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It shows that, that your program has been successful. And as a coach, Like, I love the wins. Don't get me wrong. I love the wins. But what I love the most is the success of these girls, not only on the court, but off the court and in the classroom. So, I mean, it makes me super excited for the simple fact that means that these teams have been successful.
What's amazing is this whole entire YouTube and Facebook feed, I've got people that are just chiming in left and right. The compliments about your coaching, the girls. It's exciting to watch. I mean, it's amazing because you've known about the success and you've known about the fan participation. You put a camera behind it, and, man, it's amazing to watch all the people show up who supports this team day in and day out.
Yeah, it takes, it takes a village. It really does, and these girls have an awesome community. We have awesome administration, awesome staff, everything that's related to Three Rivers College. I mean, every kid's family and everything that's associated with these kids is awesome, and I think they're just reaping those benefits, and it's been a fun ride.
And I know we're still watching parts of this selection show, so I don't want to kick you to the curb, but can we get Maya Yelder up here?
Yeah, we'll get her up here.
All right. And I promise you, I won't call her me, I promise.
Okay.
I won't make that mistake.
Okay, perfect.
So coming up here, we're going to get the Region 16 Player of the Year, Miss Maya Yelder, joining us here in just a moment. We'll get her mic'd up and bring her on the program. So first off, Maya, talk about the fact that what was it like when you heard your all's names as the number one team? Did you know going in before today that, you had this locked up as the number one seed?
Yeah, that's why I'm sorry, that's why we weren't that excited. So, I mean, we're still excited, but not as, jumping out of our seats. Because
you guys have worked hard all season.
Yeah.
You guys knew what to expect. And now that you are the number one seed and it's official, you've got about 23 other teams gunning for you. Is that going to be a big motivator for the team to work even harder to make sure that you guys make a deep run like last year and this time get it done?
Yeah, I think that'll be a motivation, and that selection show we just watched will be a motivation too. It's kind of, I feel like that was
They took some shots at Three Rivers. Am I right on that? Did I see the same thing you saw?
Yeah, I was like, dang, he can't just say if they're a good team. They asked about the team, and he was saying there'll be upsets.
Right, absolutely. And I want to go back to last night because you were I saw you chime in on the Facebook and YouTube feed. Talk about your teammates. You got down, you as far as foul trouble early in the ball game, but the team, they rallied, and it was like they never missed a beat.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure, I'm listening to Coach.
I'm so sorry, I can't.
No.
I'm trying to focus.
We're going to listen to Coach here real quick.
Tyler, so we'll get all the information out to the girls on hotels, on all that information to you guys as soon as possible, so that way you guys know all that stuff. We're leaving at 9 a.m. on Sunday, 13th. So I think they're going to kind of do going away, send off type thing. If you guys would love to come and be a part of that, we'd love to have you. I don't know. I'm excited. Yeah, anything there?
Baron Veneer's trying to sell people to watch that. Because he actually is our friend. You called him and asked about roster, he's answered your questions.
So we'll get back to talking to Maya Yelder here. And the question was, talk about last night in the first quarter, 2 fouls early. And I watched the same game you were watching, very questionable at that. But the team, they kind of rallied with you on the bench with 2 fouls. And then Coach Wiggs keeps you there for the rest of the first half. The team rallied. You come back in second half, and it was like it was a whole different team. And you guys really just got better as the game wore on last night.
Yeah. I wasn't really stressed at all when I went out for 2 fouls. I was kind of more irritated than stressed, but I really wasn't stressed because when something happens like that, somebody always comes through, somebody, whether it be big shots from Carly or Autumn driving to the basket, or us just getting hustle plays or rebounds, or Jenna coming in, sparking, Mariah, all of them on the, everybody that comes in off the bench. I know I just had to sit over there and cheer, trying to be excited, not be irritated, because that could have really hurt not only just me, just us as a team. And
right.
After halftime, I just felt like new ball game. I got 3 more fouls to give, so I'll be okay.
You know, and last night, and we're going to get to this in just a moment, I did see earlier on as some of the former players walked in, you gave them a big hug. What's it like seeing some of the former players come in, supporting you guys, and watching this with you here tonight?
Oh, it's really nice because when we first met them, they weren't, like, really taking us in, you know, and the year went on, and we all bonded way more close, but it's just nice seeing them live their real lives, you know, and still come down here when they can have time and support us and, you know, just be here with us. They're still friends, like family.
Let's talk about the fan aspect first off. And we had a bunch of people come out here tonight to watch us with you girls, and then a lot of people sitting at home on a rainy night watching us on YouTube and Facebook. What's it like? I mean, because you guys deserve so much more than even I can give, but you guys are taking it in stride. What's it like for the team to know that the community has your all's back? A lot more than what the selection show may have had.
Right. I really can't describe it. I think, yeah. No, I really can't. Sorry. What are we doing?
No, she's wanting to know if I want anybody else. I'm like, the more the merrier. So last night when your name was called Region 16 Player of the Year, what did that mean to you personally?
It was just, it meant a lot. Like, it just felt like all the extra time in the gym and, like, the constant trying to discipline myself, you know, paid off. But
so what it boils down to say is, honestly, the accolades are great, but it's not going to mean anything to you unless you guys are back in that Final Four, and this time in that championship game.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to. I want to be back in the Final Four, but I don't even want to stop there. I want to go, and I want to win it. I don't even want to just play in the championship game. Like, I want to win it.
So let's break it down. Look in that camera, and let's talk about that. You talk to the fans, and what is the mission here from this point forward? What will you guys do to make sure you're back in that Final Four? And like you said, you don't want to stop. How critical is it to get the community support behind you girls in Lubbock, Texas? Floor is yours.
Okay, so I know everybody probably can't make it down to Texas, but if you're watching, like, we still see that. He shows us, like, you know, the people watching, and we know that y'all are supporting. I mean, y'all always do. You know, women's basketball is not – women's sports are really not supported all the time, and y'all really make a change for that. Thank y'all. For us, I think our focus point is just to play as hard as we can until we're out of gas. I felt like last year, Final Four, we were just completely out of gas, but we had to play that extra game. You know, we didn't get the bye or whatever, but – we were just completely out of gas, but I felt like we kept playing, and I think that's the goal this year, just to keep playing no matter what's happening in the game.
Well, I'm so glad you gave us an opportunity to kind of get you on camera here a little bit. A lot of folks are chiming in, and you're a great ball player, and we're looking forward to great things coming up in Lubbock, Texas. And hopefully, I know next week I'll be sending you guys off in style as well, and hopefully in a couple of more weeks we'll do another big show, and this time we'll have that trophy right here in Poplar Bluff. Best of luck to you coming up, and go get them.
Thank you.
You betcha. Maya Yelder joining us live here on the program. And coming up, we're going to be, I believe, getting in the athletic director of Three Rivers coming in, also the head coach of the men's program. We'll get head coach Brian Best to come in as well. So many great things going on here with this program, and we're just so happy to have them on. And we'll let Brian Best walk in here and get them all mic'd up. And first off, Coach, thank you for coming down here and letting us be here and doing this. And second of all, talk about this team in general and what's it like at Three Rivers right now. What is the buzz around this team and how special this team really is?
That word right there is special. I mean, most people don't understand the specialness about this. Coach Wiggs being 52-1 in 2 years, I'm just telling you, that's not as easy as he's made it look. He's been an amazing job. These girls they play hard. They work hard. I mean, they're in here working all the time. Probably put up more shots than any girls team in the U.S., and that's why I'm proud of them.
So next Sunday, the girls leave to go to Lubbock, Texas, 12-hour drive. So
we were talking 16.
16.
So they go halfway and they stop because the bus can't even go the whole way. I think they have a 10-hour max.
That's right. They do got a 10-hour max.
It's some kind of deal.
Yes,
but we have a charter, so everything. In fact, this past week he had to do a bunch of paperwork, which is not
easy.
You know what I mean? And he had to do a lot of work on that. But I also told Dr. Payne you might want to interview him. In a minute,
absolutely.
Our president of our college, but anyway, he just wanted to tell you how proud we are of our girls team. I mean, they just they put in the work and they deserve it.
Talk about, because you're in the community and you're doing a great job, by the way, on the men's program, side note. But talk about the fans, and you see it day in and day out. What's it like for this college, for seeing the new fans coming in, the fans you've had for a long time supporting these two teams day in and day out?
Yeah, it's we do have great community support. I mean, and we do have a lot of old fans. I mean, I tell my dad all the time that his friends are still coming, and you know what I mean? Because I always worried about, after my dad retired, would his friends still keep coming, because he had built up such a good community and people following him and things like that. So that's been special.
You know, I've always said this whole season, it's just a shame that, we can't do more for the programs. I wish we could. I'm just so happy that you guys allowed us to come down here to cover this. And
we appreciate any type of coverage you can give for us, Frankie. We love it. I mean, just telling you, it's big time.
Yeah, these girls, they deserve it more so than not. And, of course, I'm so happy you guys let us be down here. So what's going to be your message to the community? We'll get Dr. Payne coming in just a moment. What is your message to the community as we're gearing up now for next Sunday to send these girls off in style?
Well, it was kind of like what he said. We need to enjoy the moment. I mean, because this is special. This is special. 52-1.
That's right.
And we need to embrace that, and then we need to get them to do their best out there, because the nerve thing, I even thought last night at the first quarter we had some nerve problems, you know what I mean? And could be the crowd, could be that, we could lose, we could, the fear of failure. There's so many things that go through your mind and that you're worried about this and that. And I'm telling you, but Coach Wiggs will have them ready. You all can be assured that we're going to be ready to go. The girls are going to be ready, and they put in the work. I mean, they just come in and shoot as much as anybody you've ever seen. They're in here shooting all the time, extra shots. I tell you, so when the ball goes in, I'm more shocked when they miss, than when they make it. I'm just like, oh, no, that's going in. Even the girls off the bench, Jenna McMillan has been special. She can really shoot it. I thought last night we had a lot of contributions from a lot of players. I just thought, and they didn't all get recognized. So I thought that was really cool.
Absolutely.
Everybody's important, and that's what he was talking about. What's so good about their team is their depth, and that's because. And when you beat teams by 40 and 50, you get to play everybody. It's really easy to get everybody a lot of minutes. And but last night was an 8-point game, so
that's right.
He still played everybody. One of those deals. So it was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, Coach, I'm so glad you were able to come over here and talk with us, and we'll get you back on next week, I'm assuming, before we send them off to Lubbock, Texas, and of course we'll get. I believe Dr. Payne in just a moment. Maybe he wants to do it, maybe not. I don't know.
He does. He's so proud of Coach Wiggs and the girls. He wanted to say a word. Thank you.
We'll get Dr. Payne on. Absolutely glad to have him. That's the athletic director, by the way, for the for the college, and the men's head basketball coach, Brian Bess. And now Dr. Wes Payne joining us live from Three Rivers College. And first off, I'm so honored you guys let us come down here and stream this live for the community. Thank you for letting us do that. And just congratulations to the girls, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. I'm so proud to be here. It's just an incredible time. Alex and the girls have done an incredible job. Coach Wiggs, everyone involved. There's a lot of people that came together to make this happen. And it's just incredible to watch this season.
What's amazing is you see the fan support. You see it day in and day out more than I do. And it's just grown over the last several years. But this year definitely has grown in popularity.
Absolutely. They've got a lot of community support. We've got a great family of fans here in the Raider Nation. Come back again and again, give a lot of support. And the girls have a whole lot to do with that because of what they do off the court. They're out in schools doing volunteer work. They're reading to kids. They build a fan club. It's just incredible the impact that they have off the court as well as on.
So you were here whenever you heard the number one ranking come in. What's the first thing that crossed through your mind?
All right.
I like that. A man in a few words. And just once again, thank you again for letting us stop by. And, of course, we're going to send the girls off next Sunday at 9 a.m. We'll be there to cover it, as long as you guys are okay with it, of course, Dr.
We
Payne.
want you here anytime. We appreciate your support. Go
Absolutely.
Raiders.
Yes, go Raiders is right. Dr. Wes Payne joining us live at Three Rivers College. And on that note, we are going to say so long, and thank you again for tuning in here on Facebook and YouTube. We've got an amazing community, and we'll show you the board of the bracket. And, of course, it was filled out by the players. Three Rivers are the number 1 seed in this upcoming tournament. It is going to be a phenomenal tournament, and the girls leave next Sunday at 9 a.m. And, of course, we'll be there to bring it to you live as well. We'll send them off, and a big shout-out to Coach Alex Wiggs and the team for letting us come in here and do this for the girls. They truly deserve it. I know a lot of folks saying they're nervous about the tournament. I'm nervous too, Ron. It's going to be a great ride. We're going to be there to help them any way that we can. So thank you again for watching. Go back and share the video, and let's get these players the recognition they deserve. And drop your best wishes in the message comments. Also do that on YouTube as well. Tim Hicks did a great job all night long on the camera, like he always does. Thanks again to the assistant coach, Marissa Webb, head coach, Alex Wiggs. And by the way, thank you again to all the players who stopped by and gave us some words real quickly. By the way, coming up on Tuesday morning, they'll be back in the studio at 7 a.m. on 93.3 FM, 9:30 a.m. We'll stream that audio on KWOC.com. We'll get them in one final time before they leave off to Lubbock, Texas, coming up this next Sunday, at 9 a.m. Thanks again for watching. I'm Frankie Castillo. We are saying so long. You want to come back on? No, we just want to say, Coach, thanks again for we'll finish it off with him. We just want to say thank you again for letting us cover this. A lot of fans on social media. You'll be impressed with the amount of views and the comments that came in. Just thank you again for letting us be here, Coach. It was a great time.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out and taking the time to do this. Means a lot to the girls, means a lot to the community. You know, we had a pretty good turnout considering the weather outside. And I know there was a lot of people that were planning on coming that unfortunately didn't want to get out in the weather who were able to tune in and view this. So I appreciate you guys taking the time, and I appreciate you guys coming in here. I think you got here about 2:30. I was here about 11:30. And so it's been a long day for all of us. But it's exciting to see Three Rivers #1 up there.
Are you cool? And I'm sure the fans that are still watching, if you want us to do it, let us know in the comments section. But I want to show up on Sunday morning and send them off on camera, and let's get the whole community behind them because, believe me, they deserve it.
Yeah, you know, we're going to leave, made the announcement back there, we're leaving at 9 a.m. On Sunday morning. Kind of, it's been had to make plans to do this. And I mean, the crazy thing is there's been about 3 plans that had to be made. One is if we're the 1 seed. Okay, what if we're not the 1 seed? What if we're because I believe the 7-3-6 play actually on Fridays, their first game. So, okay, what if we are 7-3 or 6? Okay, now what if we're, so there's been about 3-4 plans, and so I'm glad now that there's one plan in place. We know we're leaving at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, and we would love to have the community out and just tell the girls, see you later, go win a national championship.
And where will they be leaving from? Here or somewhere else?
So, no, we will actually be leaving from the Best Activity Center parking lot. We'll leave from down there. That way, it's a big enough area where the bus can pull in there, where we can get everything loaded up and all that stuff. So we'll leave from the Best Activity Center parking lot.
And you'll be coming in on Tuesday. Fans want to know.
Yes, we will be in there on Tuesday.
Yes.
Myself and, like I said, Coach Webb, and then we are bringing Ari Winston.
Yes.
And Joy Montgomery.
And they were voluntold this time, but they volunteered the first time.
You know, they are 2 kids that wanted to do it, and then they got talked out of it by just, oh, you're quiet. And they are quiet, but it's something that they want to experience, and it's something that I hope that by the end of this thing, all 16 of them will be comfortable and want to experience it, because I told them that even though it's your first day on the job, that you kind of know what you're doing.
What's amazing is you told me a story that for the majority of these girls, when they come in on the studios as the first time, they've been on the radio before.
Yeah.
So we got to change all that. Like my Yelder, for example, she rocked it earlier. I mean, she's not nervous anymore. Look at Marissa Webb. She's not nervous anymore either.
Yeah.
She can do my job better than I can.
Well, I need her to keep doing her job for right now. You can have your job, because I need her.
Okay.
I need her for, yeah.
I can be the sidekick. Who knows? Who knows?
There we go.
Coach, thank you again for coming in. And seriously, the community, man, they're behind you 100%. And we're just so honored. I'm honored that you let us come in here in your house and set all this up and do this for the kids. They deserve it.
Hey, we truly appreciate it. We truly appreciate the community, and be paying attention to your post, to our post on how you can follow things, there in the national tournament. And I know that you'll be making posts as well on your Facebook page on how the tournament's going. So even though it's 15 hours away, but we'd love to have Three Rivers or Poplar Bluff, Poplar Bluff in the area supporting us whenever we're 15 hours away.
And
That'd
the cool
awesome.
thing is, for those who can't make it, as I already told you, we're going to figure out a way this year, every day of this tournament, I'm going to get you on the air some way, somehow, to give us updates, what you like and don't like, and we're going to praise this team as much as we can.
Hey, this sounds great. They deserve it, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Coach, and good luck to you going forward.
Thank you.
Coach Alex Wiggs signing us off here tonight live at the Libla Family Sports Complex. Remember, share the video. Thank you again for tuning in and watching. We're so blessed to be here. I'm Frankie Castillo. We're saying so long tonight, and the Lady Raiders are the #1 seed. Go Raiders in the upcoming national tournament. Thank you for